Shameless is a comedy drama, a very adult comedy drama that is based on the British version of the series also called Shameless. It follows the 6 children of Frank Gallagher as they attempt to conduct their daily lives and challenges while he goes on drunken adventures that can last days, weeks, and even when he's home, he's often passed out or in a drunken state. Frank, by the way, is played by William H. Macy. Sometimes the closest thing the oldest, Fiona, has in an adult role model or confidant is their neighbor, Veronica Fisher. She is a friend, a confidant, a thrill seeker, and a webcam girl all rolled into one. And it takes quite the actress to pull off that kind of role, and Shanola Hampton has received plenty of critical acclaim for her very real and entertaining portrayal of Veronica. It is my pleasure to welcome her to the show today to get her take in being part of this very raw, unique, and successful series. Shanola, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Glad to have you here, and I've been looking forward to our conversation. And I look at the different ways that people describe Shameless. I actually got to see, I think it was an interview on YouTube with one of the writers who I think put it in a really good way. And if I remember correctly, the way he put it was much of the behavior that we see from the characters is behavior that a lot of people might look down upon, but to these characters, this is just life. This is the way they live. It's what they know, and they're shameless about it. Do you think that sums up the storyline pretty well?
I think it sums it up perfectly. I mean, they're in this world. They hustle. It's the only world that they know. It's raw. It's edgy. It's not crazy to them, and they do it without apologies, and that's what makes them shameless.
Your character indulges in some things that some might consider shameful, sometimes maybe racy behavior, but how would you describe Veronica?
Well, I just definitely is crazy, and she does get her involved in some craziness. I mean, the Master-Slave Act was something that was out of this world, but she's also very loyal and loving, and the people that she loves them hard and would do anything for them. Yep. She has a passion for life. And she also can be the moral compass sometimes. I think you got to see that a lot in season 2. Mm-hmm. So she's a really fun girl, but she has a really big, deep heart.
Well, I agree. You definitely see both sides of her at any point in time. And, as you've gotten to know her, I'm sure it's been kind of fun to experience some of the transitions that she's gone through. But if Shanola Hampton knew Veronica Fisher, what advice would you give her?
What would Shanola Hampton tell her?
Yeah.
Get her ass off with the webcam. What are you doing? That's what I would say. Why are you doing ironing naked in front of these people in India?
I think that's definitely a good question.
What is wrong with you, girl?
Well, I think that's a good question, and I think that'd be a really good episode just to get the answer.
Exactly.
Well, you were talking about the two sides of Veronica, and the show itself literally has a little bit of everything in it, and as a result, while you watch, I mean, you could literally experience a lot of emotions as a viewer, but what's it like taking that world on as an actress?
Well, it's super fun. I mean, you really go from some very emotional scenes to some really hilarious scenes, and sometimes it's combined in one scene where it's funny and emotional at the same time. So it's really fun to play. There's never a dull moment. You never get bored because there's always something going on, and there's never a script that you get and you're like, yada, 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 because it always has some sort of surprise, even for you as the actor. So it's the job of a lifetime, honestly. And as an actor, it's really a dream, especially for my character, as you've seen through the 3 seasons, how she's evolved from this sort of fun-loving, nonchalant person to having this adopted child to now wanting a child of her own. It's really been a nice evolution for Veronica and the Kevin storyline.
Yeah. Well, of all the things that you've had to act out, especially some of the more challenging things, what were a couple of things that you found the most difficult that you had to do as Veronica?
I love kids, and when I was being mean to Ethel when she was on, when she was in our house, that was really hard for me to do because, after every take, I would just hug Madison and be like, I love you. So that was really quite difficult for me to do. But other than that, I jump in with both feet, so the sex scenes don't really bother me at all. They are what they are. I was shocked when I came back for season 3 in the very first episode. We were doing a master slave act, and I was like, wait a minute. Who's whipping who? Let me just get this straight. What's happening? And then they explained it. I was like, oh, okay, let's go.
Okay.
You kind of have to not judge the material, especially on a show like Shameless. You have to jump in with both feet, or it's not going to look good.
Yeah, right. You can't have any of that inner conflict out of character.
Exactly, and people will notice that. It will read, and it can't read on a show that's called Shameless because you're not supposed to have any apologies. So
Right.
You have to just go in for it.
Well, you're now in season 3, and I believe I've read that season 4 has already been approved.
You read correctly. We are so excited
That's
about that.
awesome.
We actually got picked up for season 4 the Monday after episode 3 aired, so that's really amazing.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much. We're really excited. I don't know what they're going to come up with for
Yeah.
season 4 because this season is my favorite season so far, and you haven't seen anything yet. I'm telling you, it gets crazier. The turn that you saw for episode 5 is now leading into all the rest of the season. Just boom, 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 boom. It's going to go by so quickly, too.
Something jarring or shocking or surprising could really happen at any point in any episode. But as the first 2 seasons have gone on, what were maybe a couple of events that kind of shocked and surprised you maybe the most when you read it for the first time?
I was absolutely surprised when Chloe Webb's character came back, when their mother came back and then tried to kill herself. That was insane. To be there with bloody wrists on the kitchen floor and the kids being in that scene, that was a shocking moment for me. I get surprised each script, to be honest with you. Like, oh my goodness, are we going there? Like this season, when the little girl, who's really a boy, and she's 8, and it's really a little girl, that was shocking to me.
Yeah.
Then it came out that she's actually a little boy, and I was like, what are we doing? That was quite surprising. It also, and of course, like the regular surprises that happens as an audience when Karen has an Asian baby after this entire time, because we didn't know that as we're shooting these films, knowing that Karen was pregnant. We're thinking it's Blip's baby, and if there is going to be some sort of twist, it was going to be that it was suddenly Frank's baby. That's what we were thinking. And then it ends up being an Asian baby. So the show never not surprises me in some way. I mean, doing a master slave scene is quite shocking.
Yeah, I mean, right before you open that first page, you're already thinking, oh my gosh, what am I about to read?
And then when you see what's coming up in my storyline with my mother and Kev, as if the turkey baster it was a little bit off, may not have been as shocking. Some people were completely floored. But when you see what actually ends up happening with this storyline, I had one script where I was like, I am nauseous.
Wow.
I'm going to throw up.
All right, so look forward to that.
You'll see that coming up. I just couldn't believe we were going there. So, yeah.
I know you saw this a couple of times that, as we got closer and closer to this interview, I was promoting it on Twitter, and you can tell just how much fans get into it because I even threw out there, what would you like to ask Shanola? And I had Kelbell70 wrote back with a very deep question, and it says, why does Jimmy cheat on Fiona?
It's amazing how that happens because you know that he really loves Fiona. It's not a question of that. But he's just, right now, he's just so pitiful, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just a little punk. It's like, fuck up, Bucky. Life happens. Things happen. Get over it.
That's right.
If you think about the dynamics of their relationship, it has really been built from Jimmy's end on lies. He's never really been upfront and honest with her. She sort of, from the beginning, from the pilot episode, showed exactly where she lived. All the kids came downstairs that night that, we were getting glass out of his hair after saving him in the club. And he lied about being the car thief. He finally revealed that. But he lied about his name. He lied about where his family's from. I think he's a pathological liar, but I don't think he can help himself. And I don't think he does it from a place of, I'm trying to hurt you. He just can't help himself. And he's been living this lie for so long. A lie of some sort for so long. Even before he met Fiona, you can see how his dynamic with his family and the way he lied to them about he was supposed to be in college and he wasn't.
Yeah.
He's out stealing cars. So I just think that's part of who he is, and I think he needs some therapy.
There you go. You've given your advice to Jimmy and Veronica so far. We've covered some really good ground.
Yeah, no, we're doing well.
That's right.
Bring it on, baby.
Because we got all the answers.
Exactly. We'll do the segment, Ask Shanola.
Yeah, that's right. That's our new segment on the show, Ask Shanola. I think that would be awesome.
It would be great.
You can tell based on that question how passionate fans are, and obviously you don't get 4 seasons on a show on cable without really good viewership. I mean, this is also an award-winning show with lots of critical acclaim. You've received some of that as well, and deservedly so. What have you heard from fans? What are they telling you that they love about Shameless?
From what we've heard, and our fans are amazing. We love them. And I love this new age of social media because it's almost, I grew up in the theater, so it's like you're getting the responses that you would get in the theater, but you're getting it through tweets and through Facebook. And so it's really nice to hear and to see their passion.
Yeah.
But I really heard, which was kind of shocking because when you do a show, you don't know what the response is going to be, and especially when you do one as out there as Shameless. But everyone has said they love how raw it is, and you would not believe how many people say, I know someone just like Frank, or I grew up in a house that was just like the Gallaghers, or my aunt is, and so many people relate to it, and I think it's because we're not adding that whole glamour aspect to our show, so it's more of that real gritty people that they're getting to watch, and it's been the response has been just overwhelmingly positive, and I'm so grateful for that.
Speaking of getting emotionally involved or engaged in what's on TV, our episode today focuses on what's on TV these days. So what are some of the shows that you like to watch?
Ooh, you asked the right person this question. I will preface this by saying I watch about 40 to 50 hours of television a week. I watch everything. I watch trash. I watch good TV. I watch everything. Right now, for this season, I'm watching Smash, Modern Family, Nashville, which I'm obsessed with, of course, House of Lies and Californication. I like all trashy reality. So ask me about any show, and I probably know. Now, that's just the list for this season. Now, of course, I love Homeland and Dexter and The Office, which the finale season right now is happening. So, okay, ask away.
Well, okay. What are some of the shows that we're watching now? I think our main shows, I think that we really look forward to are Once Upon a Time.
Yes, I love that show.
Revenge.
Yes. Oh, did you see last week?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God. And that moment, that, like, Titanic moment where she had to let her go in the water because they both were going to go down, I was about to die.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't expecting her to die. I really wasn't.
Yeah,
I was usually you can kind of see that. It came unexpectedly for me. Did it for you, or did you expect that?
That surprised me a little bit.
I was kind of over the brothers and their storyline, to be honest with you, though.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm ready to wrap this up, but I love them. And isn't Madeline still, she just does one turn of the head, and it's like, fabulous, darling.
Yeah, she is really good, and so is Conrad. You know, the guy that plays Conrad is just
Conrad.
awesome in that.
He's really good. I love that show. And Krista B. Allen, who's on there, I love her as a person.
Yes, Krista's also very, very good.
I thought I was going to feel the same way about Deception, but it didn't grab me like Revenge did. Did it grab you?
I have not watched that one.
But do you watch Scandal? Tell me you watch Scandal.
I don't watch Scandal, but my mom likes Scandal.
What is wrong with you? How are you not watching it? Oh, my gosh. Listen to me. You need to go, and that's what I want. That is your assignment this weekend. You have to catch up on Scandal. It's amazing. If you love Revenge, like Scandal is different, but I'm just saying.
Okay, so not only do you give advice, but you give assignments.
I give assignments. You will be watching. You will catch up on Scandal.
You know, the thing is, the reason why I'm kind of slow to it is I'd say in the last 2 years, I have just now begun to get back into TV after losing faith in it for a really long time.
Well, that's when the change came 2 years ago. I can see why you would.
I started to watch The Americans just the other day. I wasn't sure what I was going to think of it, and I really like it.
You do like it?
I do like it.
Okay, I got to watch it. Okay, because American Horror Story was my jam. Did you watch American Horror Story?
I am not the target audience for American Horror Story.
Are you sure? Because it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not the target audience.
No, I think, okay. See, I told you, don't get me on the television. I'll go on and on and on, and then we'll forget that we're even doing it.
That's okay. There's discussion. No. This is a discussion show, too. The only other show I would mention that's must-see TV for us, and we watch a lot of little things here and there, but we religiously watch The Big Bang Theory as well.
Oh, yeah. You know, I have never
I tell
I know
you,
I missed out. I didn't get on the train at first, and so I missed it. Okay, now I'm going to have to catch up. It's actually a great way to see shows, and I did it for Veep and stuff like that, is when you just get the full season, and then you catch up on everything, and then you're like, oh, I see what all the hubbub is about. What about Downton Abbey? Do you watch that?
I don't think I'm the target audience for that either.
I love you.
Well, what else are you working on or have worked on that we can see you in now or in the coming days?
What's really awesome is my film Things Never Said is making its rounds now in the film festival. We just had a festival here in Los Angeles, and we won an award. It's my first starring role, and it is going to Cleveland next, and it'll be all over. I'm super excited about that. And I did another movie called Forever, which they are editing now. I actually was doing that movie while I was filming Shameless. It's about people who have had tragedy happen and don't know how to go past it. So it's almost like a cult that they go to in this bar. And it's really crazy, but it's really fun. And Deborah Ann Wool is in it with me from True Blood. So it's a clash of two networks, HBO and Showtime together.
Nice.
So it's super fun. So those are good things to look forward to right now. And hopefully, by the time this airs, I'll get another job, and then I'll call you back and be like, oh, add this. No, just kidding.
Oh, you can do that. We'll let you do that, and we'll talk about that, too.
But I'm really excited about Shameless and the success of the show, and I can't wait to go back for season 4. And I hear we're going back to the winter months, which I love that because I think that the face of Chicago in the winter is such a different face than in the summer. And I really like it, gives it that more of that desperation and that, we're doing what we have to do. It really adds to the hustle of it when it's cold.
Well, it's been a lot of fun talking about Shameless and television and everything else we could fit in, assignments and advice and different characters and a little bit of everything. It's the best kind of conversations to have on this show. I definitely appreciate you being on. You're definitely welcome back anytime.
Yay, thank you. I want to come back and love to you and say a big hug to your wife. And thank you for having me on.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Bye, love.
You can find out more about Shameless on the web, including the webpage dedicated to the show on Showtime's website, and that is show.com.